management go to Rino and Nina.
My topic is about territory and administrative situation of the Italian Republic.
Sorry. Perché abbiamo anche questo. You want to use this? Okay.
Italy is subdivided into 15 regions with an ordinary status and 5 regions with a special autonomous status. Furthermore, there are 110 provinces and 800 municipalities. The resident population accounts for 60 million inhabitants, and the area is of 302 square since the economic crisis in 2008, Italy has suffered a severe economic downturn. Social and regional disparities have been accentuated and the youth employment has risen sharply. The crisis and the job loss have aggravated the economic situation of families, especially in the south of the country. According to ECT projection, the Italian economy is likely to recover during 2015 and 2016, and the recent structural reforms could increase the GDP by 3.4% within the next 5 years. Okay, so this is a summary of recent structural reforms. Institutional reforms, new electoral law, reform of the constitution, public administration, and reform of justice, and spending review, reducing procurement costs, increasing efficiency, and cutting unproductive public spending. Political summary and presidential elections next one January 2020, legislative elections next one February 2018, and head of state Sergio Mattarella since 3 February 2015, and Prime Minister Matteo Renzi since 22 February 2014. The Italian Partnership Agreement for the period of 2014 and 2020 was adopted on 2 October 2014. And the strategic objectives have been translated into investment priorities linked to the Europe 2020 targets. Italy's priorities are developing an innovation-friendly business environment, putting high-performance infrastructures and efficient management of natural resources in place, increasing labour market participation, promoting social inclusion, improving the quality of human capital, and supporting the quality, effectiveness and efficiency of the public administration. And thematic objectives are strengthening the research, technological development and innovation, supporting the shift towards a low-carbon economy in all sectors, promoting climate change adaptation, risk prevention and management, and preserving and protecting the environment and promoting resource efficiency, and promoting social inclusion, combating poverty and any discrimination, investing in education, training and vocational training for skills and lifelong learning, enhancing access to and use and quality of ICT.
Good afternoon. My presentation is about the territory of Sicily and its economic and social situation. Sicily forms the biggest region of Italy with over 5 million inhabitants. It is also known as Trinacria due to its triangular shape. The regional capital city is Palermo. Mount Etna is one of the largest active volcanoes in the world, sorry, and it's here, and it's located in the northeast of Sicily. The Strait of Messina separates Sicily from Italy, and the Sicilian Strait separates the island from the African continent. The flag is it's the flag of Sicily, and it's with the trinacria, the symbol of Sicily. The regional institutional structures of Sicily are the regional assembly, the regional council, and the president of the region. As an autonomous region, Sicily has full legislative competence on key policies such as regional transport and communication, public health and safety, secondary and higher education, social affairs, and assumption of public services. Sicily is divided in 9 provinces and 319 municipalities. However, in these years, regional laws initiated a process of restructuring local authorities and replacing existing provinces. In 2012, the GDP for Sicily was about 84.9 billion of euro, corresponding to the 5.4% of the total Italian GDP. The most industrialized provinces are Catania and Palermo. The most Sicilian campaigns with high added value are concentrated in Palermo and Catania. Catania has the largest scientific park of the Sicily's region, and it's the Etna Valley cluster with companies specialized in ICT, and they are biotechnology. Other important industrial areas are located around Messina, Syracuse, and Gela, and they are petrochemical industry. In 2013, the Sicily population consisted of about 3 million inhabitants. Sicily has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. The employment rate for the young is also one of the highest in Italy. And it's the date of the rates of Sicily, of the employment rate. The pillars of intervention for the period of 2014 and 2020 focus on the other points like research, technological development, business, support using innovative technologies, and provide direct incentives for the creation of enterprises. The RIS has been included as a thematic ex-ante condition for receiving funding from the ERDF. Sicily is considered a moderate innovator because in these 7 years, and in line with its regional RIS strategy, Sicily has put a strong emphasis on policies in favor of research and innovation.
Good afternoon. My presentation is about socio-economic aspects of the territory of Calatino. The territory Calatino is very heterogeneous. It is essentially made up of hills and mountains. The term Calatino defines that part of the territory of eastern Sicily, part of the province of Catania, including the 15 municipalities that fall partly in the macro area, also called Central Sicily. During the 90s, the area of Calatino was involved in research and surveys on its demographic, economic and social structures, focused mainly on agriculture, but also in the examination of other important sectors of the economy. The products of Calatino Safsimeto have the advantage of being high quality, although this characteristic is not properly enhanced. Entrepreneurs fail to get together to form companies capable of carrying out a serious and advanced mechanism of production, distribution, chain and marketing, indicating the lack of a modern agricultural entrepreneurial mindset. In the area, there are some interesting realities of transformation of local agricultural products. The main realities of the area are the following: citrus sector, fruit and vegetable sector, ceramic activities, the construction industry, and tourism activities. To promote sustainable and permanent development of the territory concerned, to engage in land development by opening a social site, to involve public institutions and residents of the territory. This means to network public institutions, educational institutions, banks and economic entities. Free sun, renewable energy in Catania. Free sun in Catania is one of the largest manufacturing facilities of photovoltaic panels in Europe. Opened on the 8th of July 2011, it has since produced more than 4 million panels. Here they are financed by the European Union and by the national funds. Smart Pipe, research and innovation in Pozzallo. Research and cooperating networking, competitiveness and economic growth, transfer and absorption of innovation by the region, integration of partnership between public and private. Here they are financed by the European Union, the private and the Italian state, and by the region. Thank you for your attention.
My topic is about Italian education. So, the 34th article of Italian Constitution says that school is open to everyone. Education, which is imparted at least 8 years, is compulsory and free. For this reason, it's both a right and a duty. So, after finishing primary and junior secondary school, students can choose how to complete their studies. So, first there's primary school, for second we have junior secondary school, and at last we have high secondary school. Primary school or elementary school is the first level of compulsory education. It precedes lower secondary school, and the duration of the course is of 5 years. Secondary school, first we have junior, that is junior secondary school or middle school, and is the third level of education as universities. It lasts 5 years, and students can decide where to enroll on high schools, technical institutes or professional institutes. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Allora, ci abbiamo subito cercato compagnie, poi abbiamo e di dietro.
Come si chiama? Scritto Inge? No. Cerca formazione.
La formazione Inge?
Sì, sì.
È qua, questo qua?
Sì, sì. Credo sia questo. No, devi andare. Vai. Ok.
No!
Perché no? Tu voglio questo. Sì.
Our topic is about professional education.
Sorry, baccare. Centavore. Chi è che ha bisogno di parlare? Perché se qualcosa vada fuori, perché non voglio più rimproverare nessuno, però scusate il sonno. Chiaro? Non so chiaro con i miei. Grazie.
Education is an important phase of every student's lifelong learning. We will see that knowledge and being able to do are the fundamental basis in the labor market. They regard both the compulsory education and the professional training.
From 1 to 3 years old, there is the nursery school. From 3 to 6, kindergarten. From 6 to 11, primary school. From 11 to 14, lower secondary school. From 14 to 19, upper secondary school, and then university. Last can 2, 3, 4 or 5 years. Secondly, the international school job, a new model that is born to provide young people necessary competencies to enter in the labor market.
Then the HTI system, Higher Technical Institute, that is part of a new sector, tertiary post-secondary. The focus will move to the academic system. Structure is devoted to higher formation, so we will arrive to the connection with the labor market.
At the end, we will concentrate on the formation abroad to complete your own multicultural formative course.
Hi everyone, I'm Manzamarco and this is my presentation about ITS. Now, we've talked about schools in general and now after middle school in Italy you have multiple paths. One of them is the technical school and it's not called Istituto Tecnico Scuola Tecnica, which is the literal translation. In fact, it's called ITS, which stands for Istituto Tecnico Superiore. This highly professional and highly specialized school offers a course which is 1800 to 2000 hours that integrates labor with education, so that the students, which can be boys, either boys or adults, have employment preparation skills for trained labor, and mixing practical skills with theoretical skills. After a certain amount of years, the students have to take an exam, and if they pass it, they get a diploma and the right to have some extra university credits. There are 5 sectors of ITS. The first one is new technologies for made in Italy products, so agroalimental and wine productive system, mechanical and electromechanical system, and the fashion system. The second one, there are 20 to 25 schools here in Italy, and it's the electronic efficiency, the gathering and production of energy, not only from renewable sources like photovoltaic panels, but also non-renewable, like fossil fuels. And then sustainable mobility, so that we can move around the globe without spending much. The fourth one is biotechnology. The fifth one is tourism, so that we can appreciate what what we have left here in Italy, and we can preserve it. And the last one is information and communication technologies, so the development of softwares.
I ragazzi miei che devono ancora parlare, che stanno giocando, escono fuori subito, che già l'ho detto per poco, ragazzi. Dai Giorgio e gli altri, gente che ha parlato, dal telefono, uscite e poi quando vi chiamiamo, dentro la presentazione, grazie. Grazie, così ragazzi, solo che è impegnato delle sere, uscite fuori, vediamo anche un po' di spazio, dai, dietro anche, per piacere. Ti chiamiamo a mano, potete uscire ragazzi? Qui ci spieghiamo, perché altrimenti così rischiamo di dai, ci mangia forza, caldo, dolce, devo chiamare uno a uno. Tutti gli italiani man mano vi chiamo, state qua davanti, man mano vi chiamo. Grazie.
As we know, many people to work need experience, but since 30 to 60% of the time spent in the school is in apprenticeship or stages, this school, in fact, the ITS is a compass for people, as the presentation says, so that they can get a job without experience at a young age. Many professional profiles were identified so that the schools can provide what they need to get a work immediately, just after they leave the school. Thank you for listening. This was my presentation.
Hi, this is my topic and this is about how Erasmus Plus was born. The European Union has set itself the objective to contribute through lifelong learning while ensuring good protection of the environment for future generations. Italy has actively participated in the Long Life Learning Programme, or LLP 2007-2013. This was the program of the European Union to support education before Erasmus Plus. With the LLP, Erasmus Plus was born dedicated to education and training open to all European citizens. It is nothing more than a container of all of those projects offered by the EU. The Italian plan provides to ensure young people under 25 years old a job offer within 4 months from finishing their studies. The project includes Erasmus Mundus, Tempus, EduLink, Alpha, program of bilateral cooperation with industrialized countries, and it has the following objectives: raising the level of education in Europe, making the recognition of certificates at the European level easier, like Europass or UPass, and to promote the values of the EU. Thank you for listening.
My topic is about the Institute Technical Professional. Regional planning favors the education offer and has the following objectives: make the education offer that regards of learning and training is systematic, guarantee accurate reference to production chain on the territory. The productive system and the education and training system must be strictly connected, enhance the participation and the contribution of firms and consider this one of the main educational needs. Limit the number of courses of studies in technical high schools to only a few in order to gain the capacity of internal organization, importance on the territory and efficiency. Thank you for...
My topic is about schoolwork. Conducting training courses within the cycle of studies is an educational model that is developing more and more in Italy. It's called schoolwork, and it provides the young with skills needed to enter the world of work, alternating the hours of study with the hours spent in a factory. The law 107/2015 provides that the students of the last 3 years of high school begin a guidance course full for the choice that they will do after the end of their study. These courses of school work are realized thanks to the agreements with companies, industry, etc. The constitution of the National Register of Schoolwork is an instrument to make the connection between companies and school easier. The financing of this course of schoolwork derives from Ministry of Education.
Samuele, e poi Barbanti, e poi Clara.
Poi Clara. Clara già.
Clara già.
Vale, moneta sopra.
Ok.
Tu sei moneta? Clara. Sì, va grazie. L'istituto o l'istituzione? Che è più professionale? Adesso. La dice? Ma tu lavori in permittente. A tu? Questo? Hai dato questa qua? No, questa qua di sopra. No, la fine di sopra io. Questa come so no.
Institute Technical Professional. It includes regional planning, favors the education offer, and has the following objectives. Make the education offer that regards learning and training systematic, guarantee a clear reference to production chain on the territory. The productive system and the education and training system must be strictly connected. Enhance the participation and the contribution of firms and consider this one of the main educational needs. Limit the number of course of studies in technical high schools to only a few, in order to gain the capacity of internal organization, importance on the territory, and efficiency.
Good afternoon, my topic is about intermittent work. This type of employment contract is possible when an employer needs a worker for an unspecified period of time. It is irregular and recurring. The worker is a casual worker. The contract can be signed by people who are under 24 years of age or over 55, according to necessities specified by Italian law. This contract for intermittent employment is stipulated for each worker and with the same employers for a period of time that cannot exceed 400 days of a period of 3 years. When a casual worker is employed for a period of more than 400 days,
this intermittent employment is transformed into steady full-time employment. As for what concerns the salary, benefits of availability can be given if the worker accepts the contract, bonds which include direct recruitment.
Okay, the next step we can stop with for a moment with these topics, and we can speak about with Valenti, with the beautiful architectural and artistic monument in the city around we can follow a technical problem. We have to send the mail from here to the other computer, but we can follow with the other people, with Guglielmino and Spala and
Adesso vediamo, andiamo con tutti i lavori.
La nostra è della Regione. La nostra è della Regione.
Our topic talks about accessory work. For accessory work means all work performed not attributable to employment or self-employment, but are characterized by a commonly limited and apparent short workers. For employment contract, accessory is the set of job performance that does not give rise, irrespective of all the commission to completion in excess of 7,000 net. The work accessory is used then in several areas: agriculture, trade, tourism, service, public administration, while observing the constraints of the containment of staff costs, required to comply with the sector or from internal stability paths. The likewise wage earners or measures of income support in any productive sector, including local authorities, will work with the employment contract accessory for a fee of up to 3,000 net in the calendar. For specific categories of persons, of people in a state of disability, important drug addiction, and for the beneficiaries of employment benefits is the possibility of using work accessory. For the employee, the compensation is excellent from all taxes and does not affect its status of employment or occupation. The remuneration received by the accessory work compete against income useful for the usage or rental of a residence period. Thanks.
Payment for the occasional provision of such accessory is a third so-called voucher that provide, in addition to the salary, also the social security coverage at the IMSS and the INAI interiors. The farms that exceed 7,000 in sales a year can use the accessory work. Only 3 types of providence dependent students between 17 and 25 years during the holiday season enrolled at cycle school. Also for 2014, the recipient of income support benefit. In agriculture, the accessory work shall apply their job activities from occasional seasonal readiness on young people under 25, which recognize that the activity is compatible with the school. Agricultural activities cannot be carried out by person registered the previous year, the list of agricultural workers. Thanks.
My PowerPoint presentation is about the European Alliance for Apprenticeships. It is a unique platform which brings together governments with other key stakeholders like business, social partners, chambers, regions, youth representatives, or think tanks. The common goal is to strengthen the quality, supply, and image of apprenticeships in Europe. The Alliance was launched in July 2013 with a joint declaration by the European social partners, the European Commission, and the Presidency of the Council of the EU. Why is it needed? Apprenticeships formally combine and alternate company-based training with school-based education and lead to a nationally recognized qualification upon successful completion. Most often, there is a contractual relationship between the employer and the apprentice, with the apprentice being paid for his work. The EAFA promotes youth employment and supports the aims of the Youth Guarantee, while reducing the disparity between skills, supply and demand on the labor market. What are the benefits? Companies providing apprenticeship are likely to benefit from a net profit on their investment, either during the apprenticeships or soon after by employing a fully trained worker. Besides effectively mobilizing a number of EU member states, the Alliance has given EU candidate countries and stakeholders to engage in quality apprenticeships. It has facilitated networking and sharing of good practice. CEDEFOP and the European Training Foundation have provided strategic support. The Alliance has happily contributed to raising awareness of the benefits of the apprenticeships. Join the Alliance. The Alliance is a platform for sharing experience and learning from the best practice. You can find partners, develop ideas and initiatives, and access the latest news and tools on apprenticeships. Thanks for your attention.
Hello to everyone. Our topic is about the legislative decree 81/2015 and the articles from 41 to 47. The article 41 says is about apprenticeship, which is an open-handed employment contract with the purpose to train young people. And it's organized in 3 different types: apprenticeship for the professional degree, professionalizing apprenticeship, and hyper-masonry research apprenticeship.
It's the law that I spoke this morning. In Italy, they have a free way for apprenticeship. The first way. No, the first way is one way for the professional degree, and not the first and the second way. Not many people in this 2 way, only in this way for the professional apprenticeship, but not for degree or for high formation and research apprenticeship. If you remember, one of the aims of our project is the apprenticeship during the university after the degree, and the apprenticeship in high training after the university, during the university and after the university. And it's one aim of our project, and this article is one article of one law of this year. The law is made in this year is the 81 law. It's from the June, I remember, in this year, and the last communication from the minister are from 2 months ago. Okay?
These are some of the advantages of apprenticeship. For example, the opportunity to learn on a job, feeling good about being paid to learn a trade, and economic growth rate through building skill sets. The Article 42 said that the apprenticeship contract has a 6-month minimum duration and contains the formative individual plan. And the Article 43 says that apprenticeship for the professional degree is structured in order to connect school and job. Every 15-year-old young until he or she is 25 can be employed in the activity sector, and the duration of contract is determined by the kind of degree the apprentice has, and it can last 3 or 4 years. Looking for an apprenticeship with work experience. What? In all regions which have defined a school job alternation system, the contract stipulated by unions sometimes needs specific way to conduct seasonal activities. Now one of my classmates will talk about the Article 44. Thank you for your attention. Hi. The Article 44 says that all the people who are from 18 to 29 years old can be employed on all public or private activity sectors with a professionalizing apprenticeship contract to get a professional qualification. The Article 45 says is about high formation and research apprenticeship. Says that all the people who are from 18 to 29 years old and own a high school degree or a professional degree can be assumed in all public or private activity sectors with an apprenticeship contract to get academic degrees and PhD too. If a boss wants to stipulate a contract, he signs an agreement with the formative organization. The student is registered. This agreement sets the number of credits recognizable to every student sub. The boss doesn't have to pay apprentices during the educational path. The boss must pay them only 10% of the salary if formation hours are at his expense. The Article 46 says is about the list of the jobs is published by the Ministry of Labor too. Balance of the qualification got during the apprenticeship, permit a correlation between formative and professional standards. The apprentice knowledge is certified by the formative organization. The student is registering. The Article 47 says if the contract is violated, the boss has to pay from 100 to 600 euros. Workers with no age limits who receive mobility or employment allowance can be taken on a professionalizing apprenticeship with the aim of their professional qualification or requalification. The contributory benefits are kept for a year by the continuation of the employment. At the end of apprenticeship, with the expression of workers employed under paragraph 4 of this article. Okay, yeah, that's all.
Hello, my presentation is about work degree. The Article 2 is about definition, and the formative organizations are high school, polytechnic schools, universities, professional institutes, and the specialization. The boss is the man who directs the job, and the protocol is an agreement between the boss and the formative organization, which defines the formation during the duration and the contents. The inner and outer formation are formation periods which take place either in workplace or in formative organizations. The Article 3 is about bosses' requisites, and the structural capabilities are places where inner and outer formations execution can happen. And the technical capabilities are means for the inner formation and execution, and the formative capabilities are being able to have one or more business tutors. And the Article 3 is even about subjects, and it says that 15 to 25-year-old people and 18 to 29-year-old people who own an high school or professional school degree. And a formative organization is responsible of the diffusion of the ways of candidacy. And candidacy request is presented in writing to the formative organization, and apprentices are chosen by the boss based on some criteria.
The Article 4 is about apprenticeship contract duration. The apprenticeship contract has a 6-month minimum duration, and it mustn't last more than 4 years, depending on the kind of contract. It's also about bosses, and they can extend apprentices' contract till 1 year if he gets a good result at the end of formation to improve his knowledge, and he doesn't get a degree at the end of formation. The Article 5 is about formative standard, formative individual plan, and inner and outer formation. Inner and outer formation activities combine to get education results. The formative individual plan, written by the formative organization with the boss, establishes formation duration and content containing these elements. Apprentices, boss and tutors information, the kind of degree the apprentice can get at the end of the formation, apprenticeship contract duration and work timetable, learning results and ways of judgment. Article 5 is also about outer formation, which can last more than 16% of the work time. And inner formation is equal to the difference between our hours of educational path and hours of outer formation. The apprenticeship contract regulation refers to the activity of the inner formation, and the formative organization is responsible of outer formation frequency. The Article 6 is about apprentices' rights and duties. The formative organization informs students and parents of formative educational and contractual aspects, contents of the protocol, ways of apprentice selection, the double status student worker, and if the contract is interrupted, the student can continue to study in the same school. Thank you for your attention.
Our presentation is about the history of apprenticeship because it has a very ancient origins. The first memories of a kind of apprenticeship are in the Code of Hammurabi. The Article 188 and 189 say that a farmer can adopt a young boy to teach his work, but if the farmer isn't a good teacher, the boy can return to his family. The Egyptians for the pyramids, the Greeks for the temples, and the Romans for the amphitheaters had a kind of apprenticeships too. In the Middle Age, the artisans and the traders took into custody an apprentice. They didn't give a wage, but they offered food and accommodation. In the 12th century, with the corporation were composed by artisans and their apprentices. That is the center of the economy in that age. That's why the artisans were more respected than now. In the 16th century, with the colonization in the New World, the artisans and the apprentices emigrated to America to find new resources. There, the apprentices were only younger than 15 years old. They got a wage, but they worked for a determined time. In the last 20 years in Italy, there are more jobs but more needs. That is people between 18 and 24 that don't study and aren't interested for employment. Now my mates talk about our apprentice, our kind of apprentice.
Well, the apprenticeship in contemporary age, we have two principles law, Fitzgerald's law that dates back to 1937, is a law on apprenticeship. It obliged state agencies and workers to cooperate in the development of courses for apprenticeship. And an Article 25 of the Italian legislative decree that aims at promoting vocational training and developing the cultural, professional, social and economic resources on the territory. There is INAP. In 2006 was founded the INAP Intelligent Network Application Protocol by Brennan University. It is an association of researchers of training sector. Now the apprenticeship in our town, in fact there are many examples of apprenticeship, for example makers, farmers, plumbers, bricklawyers, barbers and dressmakers. The masters, in fact, the role to show the apprentice the techniques and the futures of their job, and if the apprentice's work had been fruitful, he would have been awarded he would have been awarded. On the contrary, he would have been punished. Thanks for the attention.
Okay, that's all for our presentations. We hope you have liked it. They have worked a lot. Our students are here.
Sorry, also because the time is very strict, and the students worked during the holiday festivity in the Christmas holiday. Okay, we start holiday in more or less in 20 of December, and we work with the teacher during the Christmas holiday. Okay, thank you. It's not perfect, but it's enough. Okay, the program now. The students can go to the family, and the students in that can go to Liceo with the family, or to Militello with one of us that I think it's some possibility for one to go to Militello, to join Militello also for the students with the bus from our shuttle. I asked you a quarter because the bus is 5:30 to Militello. Okay?